I spent the afternoon at a friend's house who I knew from school. He lived in a neighbourhood that I wasn't all that familiar with, so we decided to take our bikes out for a ride, and I simply followed him until we come to a large wooded area. It was in a valley that descended away from the roadside and, from what I could see, become rather dense and overgrown quite quickly. Because of all the foliage, we decided to leave our bikes and go down on foot. We had been hiking for about 20 minutes when we realised that we could no longer see the spot that we had left behind, and we were surrounded on all sides by thick vegetation. Being boys, we thought this was absolutely fantastic and decided to carry on further into the valley. At some point, we came across what looked like an abandoned campsite. There were some old cans lying around that looked like they had been used to boil water, an old ashtray, a pit, and quite a lot of plastic sheeting. We had a quick look round but didn't really find anything all that interesting, so we decided that we were going to carry on with our hike. Just as we were leaving, somebody called out to us from somewhere on the other side of the camp. A homeless man appeared, no doubt the camp dweller, and demanded to know what we were doing with his things. We explained that we didn't take anything and we were just looking around the area. He began to calm down. We made some polite conversations for a few minutes, we exchanged names, and we had a vague idea of where he'd come from. We decided that we were going to go through and said our goodbyes, but he told us that we had to give him something before we went. We hadn't brought any food or water, so we didn't really have anything to offer him, and he apparently took exception of this. He started yelling at us so. Then he started demanding that we hand over our shoes, which neither of us were willing to part with. We started to back away from him and at the same time try and figure out which way we had come from when all of a sudden he pulls out a knife and started running towards us. I don't remember exactly which way we went or how far we had to run. I was absolutely terrified and full of adrenaline. I looked back a few times and realised that we were getting away from him, but he was still chasing us, even though that there was no cover from the trees at this point. This guy's fucking insane. We reached the side of the road where we had left our bikes and, fortunately, had enough of a lead on him so that we could hop on and pedal for all we were worth. A couple of builders who were offloading materials up the road saw that we were panicked and stopped us to find out what was going on. We gave them a brief description of events and they went back to see if he was still around, but apparently he was gone when they got there. My friend told his folks what happened that day, but I never heard anything about it. As far as I know, he could still be living in that campsite, but I certainly wasn't ever going to go back anytime soon to find out.